Most AI support tutorials optimize for one thing: answering every message automatically. That sounds efficient, until the system invents a refund policy, promises a delivery date, or replies to a security complaint without a human. In this tutorial, we will build a safer version in n8n. It will classify each request, draft a response, auto-reply only when the question is low risk, and escalate everything sensitive. You can import the workflow from the link in the description and use it as a starting point for your own business or a client project. Here is the finished architecture. A customer submits one short support form. The workflow adds your business rules, sends the request to an OpenAI model for classification, validates the returned JSON, and then takes one of two paths. Informational questions can receive a reply automatically. Refunds, complaints, privacy or security issues, legal threats, and account changes are routed to the owner. Every request is logged to Google Sheets. This is not a promise that AI will never make a mistake. It is a design that limits what a mistake can do. The workflow uses standard n8n building blocks. The form trigger captures the message. An edit fields node adds your business name, support email, and escalation policy. The OpenAI node returns a small JSON object containing category, urgency, root, summary, reason, subject, and reply body. A code node validates that output and fails closed if anything is malformed. A switch node separates safe replies from human review. Gmail handles the messages, and Google Sheets gives you a simple audit trail. Start by downloading the workflow JSON from the description. In n8n, choose Import from File and select the file named Flowpilot AI Support Triage. The workflow is inactive by default, and it contains no credentials. That matters because an imported automation should never start emailing people before you finish configuration. You should see the main workflow plus a large README note with the setup checklist. Next, open Configure Support Rules. Replace the business name, owner name, and support email. Then rewrite the support policy for your real operation. The important part is not a clever prompt. It is a clear boundary. List the topics the system may answer and the actions it must never promise. In the included version, refunds, chargebacks, complaints, privacy and security, legal threats, and account changes always go to a human. If you work in healthcare, finance, or another regulated field, make the escalation boundary even stricter. The form is intentionally short. Name, email, optional order ID, and question. More fields can improve classification, but every extra field creates friction. For a first version, collect only what the workflow needs. Do not ask for passwords, verification codes, full payment details, or other sensitive information. If you already have a website form, you can later replace the form trigger with a webhook and keep the rest of the workflow unchanged. Now connect your OpenAI credential and OpenAI triage and draft. The prompt asks for JSON only. Structured output makes downstream logic predictable. We are not asking the model to directly control Gmail or issue a refund. It can classify the request and propose text. The prompt also says never to invent order status, policies, prices, dates, or actions already taken. For a lower cost starting point, choose a small model that supports the Responses API in your n8n account, then test it with real examples from your business. This code node is the most important part of the workflow. It extracts JSON from the model response, checks allowed categories and urgency values, and normalizes every field. If parsing fails, it does not guess. It creates a safe fallback and routes the request to a human. If the model returns an unfamiliar route, the code also changes it to escalation. This pattern is called failing closed. When uncertainty appears, automation loses permission instead of gaining permission. The switch node has two explicit outputs. Auto-reply sends the draft to the customer. Escalate sends an internal email with the original message, category, urgency, reason, summary, and a suggested acknowledgement. Notice that the human review path does not tell the customer that a refund was approved or an account was changed. It simply gives the owner enough context to decide. This is a better division of labor. AI compresses and organizes information, while a person owns sensitive decisions. Connect Gmail OAuth in both email nodes. Then create a Google Sheet with the headers listed in the setup guide and select it in log every request. During testing, replace the customer email expression with an address you control, or keep the Gmail nodes disabled. The log is useful for checking false positives, measuring which categories appear most often, and improving your rules. Avoid storing more personal data than you actually need, and follow the privacy requirements that apply to your business. For the first test, submit a normal product question, such as, "What file formats do you support?" The expected route is auto-reply. Inspect the AI output before Gmail runs. Check that the answer uses only facts you provided and does not add imaginary features. If the system lacks the necessary knowledge, change the rules or prompt so it escalates instead. Reliable automation usually comes from narrowing the allowed scope, not from adding more confident language. For the second test, submit, "I want a refund and I think my account was accessed." The expected route is escalation with high urgency. The human owner should receive the original message, the reason for escalation, and a safe acknowledgement draft. Test edge cases too: missing context, angry language, legal threats, payment disputes, and prompt injection attempts. Do not activate the workflow until sensitive cases consistently lose auto-reply permission. If you want to sell this as a service, do not sell a generic JSON file and promise passive income. Sell implementation. A useful fixed scope package includes policy mapping, connection to the client's form and inbox, 10 to 20 test cases, an error path, and a handoff document. Start with a small paid audit, then quote the build after you understand the workflow. Never guarantee revenue or perfect accuracy. The value is removing repetitive triage while keeping risky decisions visible. The original workflow JSON and setup guide are linked below. Import it, replace the placeholders, connect your own credentials, and test both safe and sensitive requests before activation. If you want a fixed price implementation for your business, the service link is also in the description. Subscribe for more practical AI automations that include the actual workflow, the failure cases, and the handoff, not just a demo.